Welcome to part 15 of our holiday of a lifetime. In this video, we spend 9 days crossing the Bering Sea and learn how the ship managed the change of time crossing the international dateline. Well, hello, I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to part 15 of our holiday of a lifetime. In this video, we are sailing 9 days across the Bering Sea en route to Alaska.
Yeah, we've left the last port of Japan now.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yep.
And in this video, we're going to cover how Princess handled the onboard time changes when crossing the international dateline.
Yeah, that's very intriguing. We had no idea how that was going to happen, so we've got some good content, I think, on this one.
And of course, the weather variations as we head north. It's slowly getting colder and colder.
It certainly was, yes. And our thoughts on the Princess Premier package. We took the Princess Premier package and we'll give you our overview of what we thought, whether it was worth it or not.
And the pop-up specialty cuisine restaurants.
Yeah, these are not the normal standard restaurants like the Crown Grill or Sabatini's, but it's actually some specialty restaurants they actually just put on specifically, at least for this cruise as far as we knew. So.
And last but not least, some of the onboard ship's entertainment.
Okay, well, we're crossing the international dateline. And what do ships do when with the time differences? Because when sailing across time zones, cruise ships will adjust the onboard clock to match the local time for the ship's location. And passengers are notified daily of any time changes by the ship's daily program. And what's that called on Princess Cruises?
It's called the patter.
Yeah, that's right, it's the patter. And here we've got actually got an example of a patter with the time changes notification circled in red. Now, time changes normally occur at 2 a.m. which is shown in the close-up of the patter time change notification, which is sort of normal daylight saving time adjustments. They always happen at 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Now, when cruise ships sail on an east direction across the international dateline, we actually travel backwards, would you believe, in time by 24 hours at the point of crossing. So we're going back in time, even though we're going forward. Confused? So when we departed from Melbourne, Japan on the 3rd of May, the time in Whittier, which was our next destination, was actually 16 hours behind. That's strange. Right. Yeah. Therefore, the ship needed to turn the clock back by those 16 hours when we arrived in Whittier to be in the correct time zone. Well, how did the ship execute the onboard backwards time change with minimal impact to all us guests or passengers?
Without confusing us.
Exactly.
Well, they advanced the clock or time by 1 hour each day to from 12 noon to 1 p.m. for 8 consecutive days, commencing the 4th of May. In addition to this, they also turned the clock back by 24 hours on the 6th of May, being the day we actually crossed the dateline. And this resulted in 2 days being the 6th of May.
Yeah, so that was quite fun because it sort of confused us that we had to advance the clock every hour for 8 days, but then of course when we turned the clock back by 24 hours, that made it the 16 hours.
So we get a whole new day,
the
same day.
We received a patter for the 2 6th of Mays. The first one, as per the graphic we're showing, is denoted as day 10, which was the number of days actually sailing from Yokohama, Japan. And the patter advises that the time change of the 1 hour advanced, but also states that the 6th of May will be repeated. Then we've got a second patter, also on the 6th of May. Again, we've got a graphic to show that. And it is dated as day 11 and also advises the time change of the 1 hour advance. Actually, and also reminds us that the 6th of May was repeated.
So it was really quite strange having 2 6th of Mays.
8 days of the week, eh? This is like the Beatles song.
We did sing that a few times.
Yeah, we did. To explain the actual math of what I'm talking about here, I've got a visual slide up here, so you, so hopefully
follow along.
Follow it along, yes. So number one, time is advanced 1 hour for 8 consecutive days. So that's 8 total hours they advanced. But number 2, time is also turned back for 1 day, or 24 hours, on the 6th of May, resulting in those 2 6th of Mays. So number 3, therefore the equation is 8 hours advanced, but take away the 24 hours for that extra day. And 4, this equals 16 hours the time is turned backwards. For example, 8 minus 24 equals 16. I know, this does sound very confusing, but actually works with a gradual time change over the period. Think of it like the start of daylight savings experience, where the clock is advanced 1 hour on the first day of daylight savings, and this results in that day being only 23 hours long. But in this case, we actually had 8 consecutive days of 23 hours. Can you imagine that? We only had 8 23-hour days, so that was fun. But there was an exception also, was the actual time changed at 12 noon instead of the normal 2 a.m. time change when you have daylight saving, when you're normally sleeping at that period. And the reason for that for that change, why was it done at 12 o'clock?
Well, that was actually for the benefit of the staff, because it would have been too exhausting for them actually to lose 1 hour.
For 8 consecutive days.
Lose 1 hour's sleep each night for 8 days.
Yeah, and they actually have a mandatory rest period, so they would have cut into their rest period.
That's right. So that was the reason it was done at 12 noon and not 2 a.m. The time change impact of during 8 23-hour days was okay, except our body clocks didn't adjust all that quickly, no. And we actually found ourselves sleeping in by an extra hour most of those days.
When we should have been in the gym, but we slept in.
Doing those fitness classes.
So
we were finding we were sleeping in a bit later than what we normally would. And also 12 o'clock would come around, and because we'd had a late breakfast, we thought, oh no, it's not 12 anymore, it's really 1. So we really should go and get something to eat for lunch, because dinner time is going to come around very quickly.
Yeah, we actually lost that hour. So having lunch at 12 was actually 1 o'clock.
That's right. So look, it was okay. Look, it was all okay and it all worked beautifully, but there was just a little bit that made us feel, oh yeah, it's not quite right.
Yeah, well, 8 days of it too. So.
Yeah, 8 days. Anyway, we travelled over the international date line at 8:07 a.m. on the 2nd of the 6th of May. And we recorded this event on video. All right, okay, right at this specific moment in time, we have just officially crossed the international date line. So we have just experienced Monday the 6th of May, and now we go back to experiencing Monday the 6th of May again. Wow. It was our grandson's birthday on the 6th of May also.
Coincidentally.
So we called him by a messenger to wish him a happy birthday, and we actually rang him twice.
Yeah. Only a little kid. I
He's
don't think he
3.
quite understood what we were
He had
doing.
no understanding, but we thought, Mum and Dad thought it was funny, we thought it was funny.
And we thought it was funny anyway. Princess also issued us with signed individual certificates attesting to the Dateline crossing, which was really a nice touch.
Just a nice touch. It was lovely. Okay, now the weather.
The weather.
Well, that was interesting. We left Japan and it was mild weather, and each day for 9 days it progressively got colder and colder and colder.
Yes, the temperatures were plummeting, as you'd say.
It was freezing. It was freezing. Anyway, but we were a little bit disappointed because we had researched the Bering Sea can often be very rough, but it was calm.
It was very calm.
It was calm. We didn't
the whole way, not one.
Didn't even have a ripple.
No, I tell you what, the stabilisers on the Royal Princess are fantastic, because you wouldn't have even known.
Anyway, look, we're a bit disappointed. We would have liked a little bit of a ripple. Never mind. Anyway, look, very few people ventured outside once we left Japan, because it was it was freezing.
It wasn't. You couldn't go and sit out in the decking and enjoy the
bit
atmosphere
unpleasant.
there.
But every day after lunch, we went back to our cabin and we packed thermals. So we would put our thermals on and our gloves and our scarves, and we would venture out on deck.
Yeah, well, we wanted to climatise really for the Alaskan temperatures,
That's right.
because everybody says you spend half the days out on the decking when you're in Alaska.
That's right, looking at the view. So anyway, we thought we'll try and climatise ourselves, and off we go, walking around the deck. We tried to stay out for an hour most days, but that was the intention. But really, I think we only lasted about 40 minutes because it was very, very cold.
Yeah, and what happened? It actually...
We live in Melbourne and we don't really get snow here, but we're out in the middle of the Bering Sea and it was snowing on board the ship. We're like, oh my goodness. So that was quite interesting. Oh, it was fun. We loved it. It was good.
Yeah, that was all contributed to the ambience of crossing the Bering Sea.
And also too, the captain made mention on the speaker one day that a lot of the staff, because they're all Philippines and come from hot countries, they'd never seen snow, so they would take it in turns to go out on deck and take photos of the snow. Next is our thoughts on the Premier package. So firstly, we love the technology of the medallion.
Yep.
And I'm actually just wearing my medallion now just to show you that I chose to wear my medallion in a bracelet form. And I picked gold because I thought then it became jewellery, so I didn't have to worry about jewellery. So that worked well for me.
It did.
And also the Princess app, which downloaded to our phones.
Yep.
In particular, the automatic unlocking and keyless entry into the cabin is a great feature, especially when your hands are full.
Yeah, that certainly is when I'm carrying 2 cups of coffee.
Also, the app includes many great features like navigating the ship, which I found extremely useful for me.
When you got lost navigating around the ship?
Sometimes I got very lost, but no, it was pretty easy ship to navigate around though. And also the chat option, which is useful to contact fellow passengers, and guest services, which is also very convenient. And we used that several times, and it was so much better than queuing up, waiting to speak to somebody.
And they'll very quickly respond to you when you put a message there. So I would thoroughly recommend anytime you need to go get a query on your account or something with guest services.
Do it by your medallion.
Do it by the app, the chat feature on the app.
Yeah. And the attendants on guest services, they responded very, very quickly. You didn't have to wait very long at all.
Not at all. Princess offers 3 different fare structures. The cheapest is the Princess Standard, which excludes extras like drinks and casual dining. The next fare structure is the Princess Plus package, which does cover some drinks up to a certain value plus some extras. And that said, you would only pay the price difference if a drink was above the plus price cap.
That's right. And say like you had a drink for $15.50 or something, but your price was $15, you only have to pay the 50 cents.
Correct. Yep. So you didn't have to pay the whole lot.
No, we've been on some ships you have to pay the
whole price if it was above, outside the package.
That's right. So this is so reasonable.
Yeah. So the Princess Premier basically covers everything and represents what we classify as an all-inclusive fare. And that we gravitated towards that because we had previously spent basically the fare cost on extras, drinks and extras on previous cruises.
Did a small cruise once, and whatever the cost of that cruise was, when we got our bill at the end of the cruise, it was the same price again.
Yeah. So
because we do like a drink.
Yeah, we do. Actually, you should probably have been following our cruises.
Yeah, so we thought, no, we've learnt our lesson. We just set and forget.
So it was a no-brainer for us.
Yeah,
so we chose the Premier fare, and this is sort of our review of the package.
That's right.
So there's quite a few aspects of the package. It's not just drinks, but there's lots of extras involved. So we'll go through each one individually. Number 1, Wi-Fi. Now, I had 3 devices and Rhonda had 2 devices that all used Wi-Fi. So this option in the package was a real plus for us.
Yeah.
Because the Premier package provides 4 devices per person. So it was great. And we also found the Wi-Fi connectivity was actually very good. And we were actually FaceTime our family quite a few times, particularly crossing the Bering Sea, and never had any problems whatsoever.
Any problem whatsoever, no.
Number 2, the Premier beverage package. The package includes Premier wine by the glass, but doesn't include bottles. But you can get a bottle that's 25% off the cost of the bottle. But it also includes various spirits, beers, cocktails, and spring water, specialty coffees, and fruit juices. Now, the premium wine by the glass was restricted really only to about 3 different varieties of reds and whites. So there's not a big selection. That said, they were certainly premium.
Oh, they're amazing wines.
Yeah, well, we had the Penfold Chardonnay Bidden 311, which, if you're in Australia, you're well known. That is a premium Chardonnay, and Henschke Shiraz as well, which again is an Australian wine. And I'll tell you what, we were entirely satisfied with those.
That's exactly right.
Now, we availed of all the alcoholic and non-alcoholic drink options, so it covers everything, as we said. And we calculate that we're well in front of the $95 daily cost per person for the Premier package, even when accounting for all the days when we were off the ship for port stops. So definitely a big plus for us. So in summary, I reckon if you drink more than 5 glasses of alcohol per day,
or even coffee or fruit juices,
yeah,
if you drink more than 5,
you are in front.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 3, the unlimited juice bar. The juice bar is in the Horizon Court buffet and actually covers the cost of 7 differently freshly squeezed fruit juices. And they were freshly squeezed when you went and ordered them. And I had at least one every day, and I actually found them really delicious.
Yeah, you enjoyed them. Now number 4, premium desserts.
Premium desserts.
Princess describes its premium dessert as elaborate confections overflowing with gelato, pastry and candy mixtures. They were served, it was ice cream served in what was like a milkshake glass, so quite that height. Well, they didn't really appeal to us. Looked like too much sugar for us. So we didn't have any of these. And we didn't really see too many other passengers.
No.
Maybe 1 or 2 every now and then, but not really many people. And also in the dessert package, they offered cakes, and they were big, like multi-tiered cakes, and they were served in the International Cafe. And I think they had like a red velvet cake, a black forest cake, and
I think a few people had it.
I saw more people having a slice of cake with their coffees.
Yep.
So, but we didn't have that either. No. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Our favourite.
Fitness classes.
Well, we had great intentions of going to the fitness club every day and doing a class of either yoga or Pilates or stretching, but we never went.
No, sadly we just didn't get there.
We never even walked in the door, Andrew.
No,
I think we walked past once to the classes, but
I did go to the gym.
Very good for you. You did go to the gym. So,
except for those
well
8 sea days crossing the Bering Sea where I slept in bed.
Well done for you. You went to the gym. So now number 6 is the photo package. And it was really nice to get our cruise experience captured by the professional photographers.
Yeah.
Normally we would avoid the photographers because they can be quite expensive, but this was part of the package. So we were entitled to 6 glossy prints because we did a back-to-back, so 3, 1, and the other side of the cruise, another 3. And we were also able to download all the photos that they had taken of us.
Yep.
But look, and this is not a complaint, but being a 43-day cruise, we were very limited to our clothes. So after really the first half of the holiday, we really tried to avoid them because we were just wearing the same clothes all the time.
Yeah. How many times can you get your photo taken?
That's right. So, but no complaints. It's a fantastic part of the package.
Oh no, look, we rate it really highly.
Absolutely. It's good.
Number 7, specialty dining meals. There's 2 specialty restaurants on Royal Princess, and they are the Crown Grill Steak and Seafood House and Sabatini's Italian Trattoria. When we sailed, the Premier package restricted specialty restaurants to just 2 per voyage, but due to our back-to-back cruises, we were actually entitled to 4. Now, Princess have actually changed the package to unlimited specialty dining now, and only actually raised the cost of the package by $5 per day. That's $5 Australian per day. Good value, we think.
Incredible value.
Yeah, particularly as the quality of the two restaurants were undoubtedly fabulous. We dined on the 4 occasions we were entitled to and loved every minute of the experience.
They were fantastic.
They were. Number 8, reserved theatre seating. Some people have some mixed reservations about this perk, but we thought it was pretty good. Seats can be only reserved for Princess production shows, not for all the acts that they bring on. So only the production shows, and they're about 2 nights per week. But the location, what we considered to be pretty premium position, what was on the first level above the floor seating.
Unlimited views.
Fantastic views.
Viewing. Yeah.
And you actually must arrive no later than 5 minutes before the show commences.
Because if after 5 minutes, they'll take the reserved backings off the seats and anybody can sit there.
Yeah. But we, as I said, we thought this was a pretty good perk because the viewing position was great.
Yes, and we used it every time we went to a show.
We certainly did.
Okay, number 9.
Casual
dining meals. Casual dining restaurants on the Royal Princess are the Ocean Terrace Seafood Bar, which is really just a sushi.
Yeah, just sushi.
Sushi place.
Yep.
And Alfredo Pizzeria. We didn't go to the sushi bar, mainly because I don't really like sushis. But we did go to Alfredo's on many occasions, and the pizzas certainly lived up to a deliciously high standard. And we found that was definitely a good perk on our package.
Made good use of that one.
We certainly did. Now, number 10, Ocean Now Delivery, which is order food and drinks via the app. And it will be delivered to you wherever you are located. We used it several times and it worked a treat with wait times, certainly very acceptable.
Yeah, didn't have to wait at all.
That's right. And this actually normally incurs an activation cost, a one-off cost though, of 23 Australian dollars. If your fare is not under the package, but we're under the package, so that just became for us. Number 11, room service delivery, and it's available to order off the menu on the app, and we didn't use this feature.
No, I didn't use this feature also.
So we can't really comment.
No.
But that also incurs a delivery cost of $7.50 per delivery if you're not under this package.
Not listed under the package features is the automatic entry into Princess Prizes, which is an onboard promotion that allows guests to win prizes through their stateroom door portal. What that means is the prize portal is activated when a guest opens their stateroom door using the medallion device. And these prizes can range from an onboard credit to, say, a cruise for 7 days. It normally costs $15 per entry, but it's actually free when you have the Premier package, which was quite nice. And how did we go?
Well, we actually won 2 prizes.
We did win 2 prizes.
We won two lots of $25 onboard credit. And it's actually quite exciting because when you walk up to your room with the medallion, it comes across on the little window at the door and it says, unlucky this time, better luck next time. And we go, and that happened day after day after day. Then we said, we're not going to win anything. And this particular day we got up and said, congratulations, you won $25 on board credit. Well, you would have thought we won Tatslido. We were so excited.
Yeah, well, considering we didn't have to pay anything.
We were so excited. And then about 2 or 3 days later, we got another prize.
Yeah.
So by then we're sort of thinking, we're getting a bit cocky.
Yeah, we're waiting for the cruise, the free cruise.
We're going to win a few
days.
more prizes.
Yeah. I don't think it would be really worth it if you had to pay $15 per day per entry.
Definitely. No, you wouldn't.
But a nice little perk for that.
Yeah, nice perk to be under the package.
And look, in summary, you can see that we actually used 8 of the 11 options under the Premier package, and as an all-inclusive fare, it was totally effective for us. Is what we set out to achieve. In fact, at the end of our cruise, our 43 days of a cruise, how much did our bill?
We were actually $5 in credit.
Yes, we're pretty proud of that.
We're very proud of that because so we would recommend a package
any day
on Princess, either it be the Princess Plus or the Premier package. Well and truly worth every cent.
Anytime.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to talk about the pop-up specialty restaurants.
Yep.
And we indulged in 3 pop-up specialty restaurants, which they incur an additional cost because they're not covered within the Premier package.
No, well, we had some onboard credit, so we thought we'd use them towards these specialty restaurants.
That's right. So the first one we tried was the Crab Shack, which was American dollars of $30 per head. We had actually been to the Crab Shack earlier in our cruise, thoroughly enjoyed it, but the main meal that we chose badly. We ordered the fish and chips and it was all a bit battery and a bit fried. And we saw lots of people coming out with the bucket of
The seafood bucket,
the seafood bucket. So we were very anxious to get back and try the seafood bucket, which we did. So I'll just read to you what was in this seafood bucket. It's a seafood bucket for 2 served on ice. And it consists of lobster tails, lobster claws, Dungeness crab legs, shrimps, mussels, clams, lemon wedges, and a trio of sauces. One was a brandy cocktail, a horseradish cocktail, and a mignonette sauce as well.
And boy, did it not disappoint. It was magnificent.
It was delicious. So I'm so glad we went back and tried that. So that our experience of Crab Shack, we went twice. First time, good. Second time, fantastic.
Yep.
The second pop-up restaurant we tried was a tapas fine wine tasting. That was 35 American dollars per head.
Yep.
And this was a food and wine pairing event, and that was held in Sabatini's restaurant.
Yeah, it was an afternoon event, wasn't it? A lunchtime event.
It was, and it was quite busy. A lot of people.
Yeah, no, it was well patronised.
Yes. And just to give you an idea of some of the food that we tried, we had a bruschetta, and that was served with a French champagne, which was thoroughly enjoyable. And then we also had it was called a Fontina cheese souffle, and that was paired with a Chardonnay from California. And another meal that we tried was a penne al arabatia, and that was actually pasta, and it was served in a cheese wheel. Remember they hollowed out this big cheese wheel and served the pasta from that.
Didn't they say it took 2 days to prepare or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And that was served with a Spanish red wine. And there was also other things that we had to eat. We had a filet mignon, and there was a carpaccio, which was raw beef. All of it delicious.
Absolutely.
Everything was delicious.
Well worth it. And it was,
yes.
You know, the executive chefs come out there and they very proudly displaying their courses.
That's right. And they get the wine connoisseurs, and they come out and they do a little talk about the wine that you're having with the meal, and they say why they picked that wine to go with that meal.
That's right.
I was thoroughly enjoyable.
Overall, a fantastic experience.
Money well spent. The third of our pop-up specialty restaurants was Piedmont wine tasting. That was a little bit pricey. It was $60 per head, but it was extremely worth it.
It certainly was.
Oh gosh. And this is also served in Sabatini's restaurant. And it was a 6-course Italian cuisine meal with premium wines sourced from the Piedmont region, which is located in northwest Italy.
Yes, and also the dishes also represented in the same region, the Piedmont region.
That were too. So our meal that night consisted of a bruschetta, followed by a vitello tonato, which is veal and tuna. And I was a bit not sure how I would go with that, but it was actually very delicious. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
Then that was followed by an agnolotti del bimburo as salvia, which is actually pork stuffed pasta in butter sage sauce.
You're not Italian.
And that was really lovely too. And that was followed then by I'll say the Australian English version, beef barasta with polenta. And that was like a rump steak and served on polenta. Oh gosh, it was to die for. And then that was followed by panna cotta, and that was also very delicious. And the panna cotta was actually served with limoncello,
Yeah, it was beautiful.
which I've never had limoncello before, and it was very nice. And of course, once again, all these meals were served with matching wines, and the wine connoisseurs came out and they talked about the wine from the regions and why they picked those wines.
And each of those wine bottles that they, the bottles of wine that they served were well in excess of $100 if you wanted to buy them individually. So they're really, they're high quality wines.
That's right.
And they were, each one was to die for.
Absolutely. Anyway, look, this food and wine, it was amazing, wasn't it? And it was a fantastic event, and it was well worth the money.
We've had quite a few specialty restaurants on various cruise ships, and this would rate in my top 3 that I've ever had. It was just sublime.
It was amazing, and the service. They're just so attentive. Like you just, just wait on you.
It's a premium restaurant, premium meal. It was.
Yeah. So if ever you're on a princess ship and they offer this, please do yourself a favour and go, because it is wonderful.
Okay, the last aspect we want to talk about is entertainment. Being 9 days at sea, you will hope there was plenty of entertainment, and there certainly was.
And there's certainly a lot on offer, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, there was daily activities, of course, which lots of people joined in, such as Zumba and Jenga, and you just weren't bored with just the daily stuff.
No.
And there was a couple of other items that they did as well, where they did them every day, and then concluded with a final presentation, and that was a boat building, which they made boats and paraded them around in the pool upstairs. It was freezing cold up there by that time.
And these boats had to hold 6 stubbies, or 6 cans, and it had to go the length of the pool and back to the pool. And they weren't allowed to sink. If they sunk, you're out.
Yeah, that's right. And there was the choir. They organised a passenger choir, which they rehearsed every day, and then and then towards the end they
put on a show.
Put a show on at the Piazza, which
and
was nice to see.
Oh, it was wonderful, and they were so good.
Yeah,
weren't they? Yeah.
There were also seminars that they had, which they included at a senior officer's presentation, well, 2 separate ones. One was the captain and the sort of bridge staff, and there was a second one which was the hotel officers, and they were quizzed on the food and the service and the like. So
that's right. That was so interesting, and some of the questions were like, well, a little bit hitting home with some people, because some people weren't happy.
And of course, the nightly entertainment was really was terrific. The house band every night playing, and they were fantastic. Got a little video of them playing.
They were fantastic, that band, weren't they?
And there was 2 international acts that they brought on board, which really caught our eye. One was a fellow by the name of Rick Steele, who's a US-based country singer. And what was quite interesting about him as well, his guitar was signed by Johnny Cash, and we've got a little video or a picture of that. And he let me have a little play on it too, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, down, down in the flames with fire, and it burns, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
And there was another one, international act by the name of Kim Perling. Now, Kim Perling is an Australian jazz pianist, actually, and has many credentials and quite an interesting character. And one of his credentials includes he was the musical director for Inglebird Humperdinck.
There's actually a funny little story relating to Kim Perling. One night we were in the Wheelhouse Bar and Paul Avers, our favourite entertainer in the evening, was playing the piano and singing, and this Kim Perling was sitting in the audience, but him and his girlfriend were talking, and next minute he said, "Oh, sorry mate, sorry, you know, I'm being a bit rude, you're playing the piano." And he goes, "No," and Paul goes, no, that's fine. And he goes, "Would you like to play the piano?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do play a bit of piano." So he gets on the piano and he plays like he's probably Australia's best pianist.
Well, the thing was that Paul had no idea who Kim Perling was, and had no idea that he was an international act that had been brought on board for a show.
And he's like, his face is going, "Oh my God, this guy can play the piano." And it wasn't until later that night he went back to his room and he said that he researched him and he said, "Oh my goodness me." So, but it was lovely, and he played 3 or 4 songs, this Kim Perling, which was fantastic. Like, he didn't have to do that, it was in his own time. And all the people in the Wheelhouse Bar, oh wow, we had such a treat. Didn't we? We got such a fantastic treat.
We got quite a few videos of the whole thing. We've got a little snippet we'll play for you, but oh, gee, it was probably the entertainment highlight for us and the whole cruise.
It was wonderful, just wonderful. We were very spoiled that night.
Life is a wonderful thing, as long as I hold the string. I've been saying so and so, I sure have a lot of gold. I use your mentality, step up, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop right again. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. All right, play some. Let me hear it.
Look, we hope you enjoyed this video. We mainly just wanted to relay 9 days at sea. That, you know, you might think it's a bit daunting, it's, you know, a very long time, but we have to say that we enjoyed every single day.
Even crossing the international date line and understanding how the time changes worked and everything.
And the complete change in weather, from nice weather to completely freezing cold weather. And just to all the things that Princess or Royal Princess provided for all the passengers on board. We can't speak highly enough.
Oh, 9 days went so quick.
Yes, I could do it again.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And next stop, where are we?
Whittier.
So,
freezing cold in Whittier, I
and
believe.
we're so looking forward to Alaska and,
Yes.
And bringing to you the videos that we have
Yes.
in our time in Alaska.
We hope you enjoyed part 15 of our holiday of a lifetime. In our next video, we arrive in Whittier for the start of our Alaskan voyage.